So you remember how I said that there were two... Everything has always been pushing towards a linear outcome? I did a glance and I was just like, huh, I wonder what's gonna happen. There are multiple outcomes to this. There are multiple outcomes to this. And you know what? I'm gonna do... Here's the thing. Do I want to go with the one that I want? Here's the thing. I have... I'm conflicted because I'm kind of like, I want to do what I think is right. Like, I don't want to say what I think is right, but I think I would just go with saying he's guilty. Because here's the thing. In the first game, Mia Faye died. So in the second game, we gotta kill another Faye, so we're gonna kill Maya Faye. I will try to go back and also show not guilty. But you get a choice. Which is so interesting. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Engard, your client, deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. She did also say he's guilty. Matt Engard is... Objection! Yes! God, I love Francesca. Francesca von Karma. God, I love Francesca. She's probably my favorite. What did you see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence here is in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. It's gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. So does that mean, like, regardless of what we said? I'm curious. What?
Objection!
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma's be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. Huh. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are left by the killer during his escape from the police. Huh. Must have been quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I don't think it is because he never got shot. But we're gonna question for everything. Does that pistol have any relationship to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. Oh yeah, because she got shot. How did I forget she got shot? She's like my favorite. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? And that's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. Why is every Von Karma wanting to keep the bullets they got shot with, whether it be in their body or as a freaking souvenir? I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francesca. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Engard's mansion. Let's question it because we do have something involving. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. And I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. And Shelly, the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. And there's evidence. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with a very interesting clue. Wait. I wonder if that's it. Do we have that button? And that is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This Brad is just a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2. The first... Make Engard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Engard himself wishes to be convicted, then he'll let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way... Force the killer to end his contract with Engard. If Engard were to no longer think of... If the killer were to no longer think of Engard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He is a man who values his duty towards his client above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge said he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who is yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. And that truth may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Oh, why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I'll grant you this one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
Objection!
That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try? That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Engard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? Huh. There's a part of me that is, like, Shelly. Like, that's the only person I can think of. Like, it's either Matt or Shelly. Okay, I was right. I wish we could actually say John Doe, because, like, technically they're the same person.
Take that!
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Okay.
Take that!
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. Because he has the killing. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. And that was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. Oh yeah, because Matt had even talked about, like, potentially blackmailing Shelly, right? Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true? Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. And that was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Engard film the crime scene? The reason why he did is that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail him. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you and this is what they said. And I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Can we stop? Oh. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that is right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yes. My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and... Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. Engard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, this man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? We've finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Oh my gosh. Do we put Matt in prison? Or do we let the killer go after him? This is the option we get. Wait, do we actually have a choice? I'm very curious. Do we actually have a choice? I'm gonna go with the thing that I always love, which is more vigilante justice than just regular justice. Wait, no, but if I really want to do the not guilty, but I feel bad for Adrian, so we're gonna go with guilty. I really wanted to do not guilty. Because then I was like, then Shelly will go after him, and you know, we just saw this shit on the streets. And then I was like, oh wait, Adrian. I keep doing it to Adrian. Matt Engard? Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal the instant you set foot out of the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. Oh, so he did that. Yeah, I'm not peeking the mic for that. He was the one that scratched up his face. Interesting. As always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt Engard? I've left Mr. Von Karma in care of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I finally had been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. So all I have to do is just get accused of murder for a little bit, and that's gonna help my self-esteem issues, or all of that, every God, that must be nice. It looks like we resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. Got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moment before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Let's hear the defense's final... Can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. Da, 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 da. Oh, is this good? My client is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Jesus. Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls.
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She is on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her! Mr. Nick will save her!
Thanks.
Oh!
Oh, what's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed! And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you! Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth. My own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But A man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then... it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well as you should have. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself at defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? Doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
The truth.
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. And I'm sure you already knew that, didn't you, Wright? And that's why you can forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory. Who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma.
I don't want to hear that wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. God, I love Francesca. She's probably my favorite. Francesca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, Yes! Okay?
Nick!
Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Aw, look at that.
Oh, Nick! I I knew you would come through. You got Engard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. We sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing there.
Oh, whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that? How many times has Mia shown up? Like, Mia's dead, and she's like popped in and out like God knows how many times.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya?
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're all right.
Hey, it looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Alright. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick. Food. Grub. Chow. I'm starved. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. God, prime rib is... I used to work at a restaurant that we would serve prime rib like way too often, and like we could take leftovers home sometimes. My God, the amount of prime rib that I've had. I'm like, I never want to look at prime rib again.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist.
All right.
So how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food.
I wish I was like Maya just chanting food, 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 and she's like walking out of the courtroom. Please tell me that they brought new food. And we're not just eating the leftovers that have been sitting out for like days.
Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I did a telephone pole of all things.
A telephone pole. Then it wasn't the red light that got him.
You did it again, Cinnamon.
Shitty boy.
I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of the Steel Samurai. Thanks.
Now look at here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't reckon you bullied Mr. Wright. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera.
Wait, whatever happened to her old one? Did Old Bag just get rid of it? Oh, well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen.
We don't get the picture. I want the picture. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective.
Me? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have been very different ending.
Well, you know it's... Huh? Wait. And that's all. I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout. Sure, it took 4 things in total, sir.
Francesca! What did you do, Francesca?
What? 4? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put one of them items in my coat pocket.
There's a 4th item.
Oh, come on now, y'all. It's over. Oh, boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think?
Why does she look so happy about that?
That being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had a rough gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Huh. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Francesca have it? Francesca? God, my brain immediately was like, yo, are we now shipping Francesca and Maya? We've already had the Phoenix Miles and Bruce ship. We've had that. Are we? I'm like, yo, why is my, like, the entire part of my brain that is like, ship. It's like going off. It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Oh, what is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience in my life. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. Yeah.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Do we give him the whip? Is that what we give him? Is it that or is it our attorney's badge? I feel like it's either the whip or the attorney's badge. I'm very curious. I kind of want to give him the whip. I don't know which one we're supposed to give him. Okay. It is the whip. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya? Huh? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly? Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway, so, who's paid for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, Bill. So I kinda already put your name on the bill.
Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000.
Huh? Huh? What?
Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Huh?
Isn't it great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
Aw, don't need to hold back now you're here. Yep, Bill, time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so.
Objection!
Fun fact, as I was going through, like, the, walkthrough, if you were playing on the DS, you actually do, because it has a mic, you can actually just yell, like, objection into the mic. Which is really fun. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. God, these games are just really fun. I really do love detective games, and I really do love this whole Phoenix Wright series.
I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sorta made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case. God,
game's so fun. It does kind of destroy my voice because I am trying to do different voices. Like, overall, this game's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
And well, Bill, it looks like I'm back on the force again. And Miss Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he say things like letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Ration headlong and everything is the only way to live, Bill.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a part of me that is like, I want to jump into the third one now, but I'm like, no, I need to hold restraint. I forgot about her.
I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
It has taken me a hot minute to record these. I forgot about her completely. Yes. Are you here visiting a patient? I'm Director Hody. Recently? Yes. That girl, you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. And I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. God damn, that guy's the weirdest person ever. But, like, oh, God, these games... Like, I'm just gonna keep saying this every time I have to, like, break away into a character. They're just so fun. These are really just fun games. It's time to begin our next quest of world domination, sweetie. And to let the world we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe.
Hey, Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? You think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies, they wouldn't even laugh at Mo's jokes. I really wish Regina had something to do with that one. Like, honestly, without a doubt, Farewell My Turnabout has been the most insane one, and it has been my favorite. Big Top, much less so. I'm ready. There's no way these two... I'm gonna be more and more contemporary with my humor. Mo Crows represent.
And we got ourselves new act all figured out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it.
Yeah, why can't we throw Trillo in the incinerator? Like, I would say that, and then I think it was the reunion one where Maya got accused of murder. That one was really fun.
What's this strap? It's an ordinary electric razor recharging on a stand. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? It was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and any man this is gonna be a fan of my heels and burning good. Speaking of burning, playing with fire is very dangerous because of that three warehouses where they stood. The scenery was burnt to a stake. Did I get half of that? I really don't know. God. Here's my thing. I know there are like the Edgeworth games, and I'm just like, please let us have Francesca and Edgeworth working together. I like the idea of the team up. I appreciate everything you did. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. Is she gonna become like Francesca's like assistant? God, that would actually be a really cool setup. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we... homepage? Homepage. Homeboy has a fucking website. My God. Where are you going, Francesca? How did you know I was here? With this. I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his.
don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
And when I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things? Seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
You put it in here?
It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
Francesca's being a bad bitch. Love it.
What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Francesca. So many expectations from everyone around me, expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me? I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be the one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right? You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, is that right? Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Francesca von Karma. Francesca von Karma, don't think that I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Francesca is best character, right? Like, there's no denying that. Best character. Phoenix Wright? One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you. I'll take good care of this 4th piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again.
What is she, Shanks?
No, she's Luffy. Like, give this back to me when you get stronger. Like, what is this One Piece? That is cute. That is it. What I am planning on doing, I'm gonna double check and see if I can go back through sort of some of the end pieces and see if there is an alternate ending for those. But if not, what I think, because we have now can go in theory to Trials and Tribulations, but I don't want to do that just yet. Because we never did Rise from the Ashes. I kind of want to go and do this. Because I don't think... Let me see if there's an episode 5 Injustice. Okay, there isn't one there. There's no such thing as miracles. And yes, I am skipping over a lot of this text. Usually I don't do this. But because all of this was done last episode, or maybe a couple before that, but all in like the last end of it. I kind of... I figured y'all don't need to rehear me do all of this. Y'all just are here for the bad ending. And that is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to go down the bad ending. Because actually, for one, because I'm still playing this on Steam, like, there is actually an achievement with it. But the other thing was just, we've never really had something where it was, like, different options. Most of the time, it's been fairly linear. Even when there have been choices, it still kind of loops you back into the route they want you to take. Kind of maybe your only exception is getting a proper game over, but you still have the chance to go back through and fix things. This is the only thing where the paths completely diverge. Although most people probably wouldn't pick the quote-unquote bad ending. So I was just really curious to see what that ending was. And I don't know how many people have actually seen it. If they have just chosen to be like, you know what, I'm going to do the good route because that's the route I want to do. Which is totally fine. I understand, you know, not wanting to put a terrible person back on the streets and all that. You know, it makes sense. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what they're going to say, so let's do it. Basically, it's this part right here we have to screw up on.
Objection!
We just have to, like, get through it. Basically, we just have to screw up what we show. Or... Here's the thing. I kind of looked, and I wasn't 100% sure. I'm gonna save here. I have so many save spots just for this one section. It's ridiculous. Because I'm not sure. Basically, they were like, you have to have everything line up. You have to show Shelly the videotape. So, what I'm going to do is screw this up. We're gonna show Matt something. We're just gonna throw some shit in there. Well, I was just shots. I'm afraid I can't allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you're talking about anymore. Wait, please, one more chance. That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. The court finds the defendant Matt Engard not guilty. I love how they still have, like, the confetti with, like, all the other ones. That's so fun. That is all. This court is adjourned. I mean, I guess in the end, Maya is, like, saved. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews a few days ago. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. This is the most depressing version of Steel Samurai I've ever heard. that is really sad. And we got the bad ending. So, now, let's show the other part, which is, I think, less, but it's fine. Okay, so this is at the end, after we show everything, you know, we actually show the proper stuff, you know, gave Shelly, thing. And basically now it's just like, do we plead guilty or do we plead not guilty? I don't... Again, if Matt is acquitted, Shelly's going after him. Let's have some fun. Congratulations, Mr. Matt Engard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty.
Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt Engard.
Please, wait. What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. I still am mad about the fact that all the scratches on his face are because of him. I'm like, god damn. I really wish that there was something where he just like got in a fight. As always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth. Okay, and the rest of this kind of follows in the same boat. This is one of those that kind of falls into the same thing, but that's it.